Today's victim is a 2015 Ford Escape. It has some sort of weird code about a coolant bypass valve. Now again, like always, I always start jobs and then think of videotaping after I'm already halfway through it. So, now that I'm pretty much at the point of changing the valve, which it wasn't all that hard, so that's why I'm going to do this video, because I've been working at this for about 15 minutes maybe, not even. So this is your part from Ford. That's your part number for the valve you need. This is your valve. This is the replacement one. This is the brand new valve. This one's going in. Now, this guy pretty much lives right down in here. That's the old valve just kind of hanging out there because I've already got it half pulled off. It's held in by two 8mm bolts, one there and one there, and they both go into the coolant passage right here. So I've pulled this valve off. I was getting a code for a faulty valve or something like that. It's manufacturer specific code when you pull it up, but so this valve, I think I've spotted the problem with it, but I'm not, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see that. Yeah, you see that piece of junk that's in there? See that big brown thing? I think that's the problem. I think it's stuck open a little bit and not letting not closing properly, so it's throwing a code. So I'm going to change out that valve. Hopefully nothing else gets stuck in it. This is a pretty new vehicle. Like, this is a 2015 with only like 60,000 K maybe. It's probably still under warranty, but I don't warranty nothing. I fix it all. So I'm at the point right now, I'm about to take this clamp off this hose here, and then I've got a glove shoved in the hole in there so that no more antifreeze drips out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably change the valve on the hose like this, because this is the way I took it off. And I'm gonna put the new valve on the hose, and then I'm going to install the valve back into the passage after I pull out the glove. And when I pull out the glove, I'm going to put the valve back on and put pressure onto the engine so that I don't really lose all that much antifreeze. Like, I mean, I've done this. This is how much antifreeze I lost. I went from like between the min and max just down to there. I didn't lose that much, just enough. So I'm going to install the new valve, and because I don't have 15 hands to videotape and do work at the same time, I will check back in after I install it back to the engine. I did have a comment on one of my videos a little while back about not showing the process of me doing things, and I apologize for that, but I mean, this is really low budget recording. I'm kind of just recording as I'm doing the work, so I mean, you get what you get. I've only got so many hands, and I'm sorry I can't hold my camera with my head. So yeah, I'll check back in after I seat that valve to the engine. So now that I have both of the valves, you can clearly see the problem. Looking up at the light, you can see that piece of crap stuck in that one and it being jammed open. Then you can see this one like that, totally clean. Now I could probably just knock that piece of crap out and reinstall the valve, and it would probably work just fine. But the new valve is only like 50 bucks. It's not expensive at all. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in. So from the front of the vehicle, now that I'm all done, to the location of the valve, I didn't even have to fully remove this engine shield cover because it just kind of pops up and swings out of the way, and I couldn't get it to pop out, so I just gave up. Because the valve is right here. Now I got it all plugged in. I got the hose back on it with the clamp, the two 8mm, one here and one here. But you can see just how easy this valve is to access. It's not really all that hard. Just make sure there's a lot of lines that all kind of clip together. Just make sure you kind of clip them all back. Yeah, just take a look down there. It's not that hard. Now, I believe there's a coolant bleed procedure on this, even though I didn't lose that much coolant because I blocked the hole. Let's just say that you did this and did lose a bunch of coolant, because yeah, I've only lost that much. Now, but I've also probably lost some in the cylinder head, and I've possibly created an airlock. So I'm going to go and just check on online just to make sure that there's no bleed valve for this, or if there is a bleed valve, how to do it. And then I'll come back and I'll show you how to bleed this thing, just in case you get that far and you need that information. Everybody needs that information. So I'll check back. Well guys, I couldn't find a service procedure on how to bleed that coolant there. So for me, I didn't really have to do too much. I mean, it was already, I didn't lose much antifreeze, so I didn't really have an airlock in it. But hopefully if you do that job, you don't have an airlock in it. Like I say, I couldn't find any good literature about how to do the proper bleed in it. So I do apologize about that. I only have so much time in the day. As you can see, it's dark and I am just getting home. So until next time, take care.